Hello there, welcome to this video in which I'm going to show you a very good way on how to master the cycle of fourths. It's very, very important. All chord progressions are based on it and you're going to recognise it in lots of repertoire, especially jazz and pop. So the simple way of doing it is to just hardcore master it. I'm going to give you a little cheat sheet pattern and it goes like this. And there's a bit of theory involved as well. You're going to find it very useful. You start on C. And of course you can add to this. I'll talk about some additions after in terms of chords. You're going to keep it all within a 12-note block, which should make it a bit easier for you. And you're going to go from C, and you're just going to follow this pattern. C up to F, up to B flat, up to E flat, to A flat, D flat, and G flat. So that's the pattern first of all. Don't worry about keys, just get that pattern down. In two parts. Because later when we do the next part, you're going to see that it's actually the opposite, you'll see. D flat, G flat. Now that is the cycle of fourths if you were to do it all along the piano. The fourth means you're adding a flat to the key signature each time, that's where they come from, but you're by playing the fourth of the key that you're in. So C, go up a fourth within its own key, is why F is next. You go up a fourth in the key of F, that's why B flat is next, that's why E flat is next, A flat, D flat, I'll just come back down here, G flat. Now, you can go up one more, but this would be called C flat, and that's kind of where it ends. You'll never see anything in the key of C flat. If you're learning the circle of fifths, then you're a million miles away from playing anything in the key of C flat, so it doesn't matter too much at all. So get that pattern down, but try now to add that layer of understanding that you're not just playing this cheat sheet pattern. You are playing the fourth in the key that you're actually coming from. So I'm feeling F as the fourth of C. I'm not feeling it yet as the first of itself. Now I am. Now I'm going to play B flat, and it feels like the fourth of F. Now it's one of itself. Now I'm going to go up to E flat. Of course, you can play them anywhere. So E flat feels like the fourth of B flat, and now it feels like the one. A flat feels like the fourth of E flat. Now it feels like the one. D flat feels like the fourth. Now it feels like the one. You want to really do this within the key, within the master key. So that's the first pattern. Now, what you're doing is you start on 0, of course, there's no flats or sharps, but going around the cycle of fourths gives you flats. But if you look at the circle, which is all over the internet, just type cycle of fourths or fifths image, and there'll be that famous circle thing. You will start on 0 flats or sharps, and going around anti-clockwise, I think this gives you the fourths, which is the flats. So you're going to have 1 flat in the key of F, 2 B flat, 3 E flat, 4 A flat, 5 D flat, 6 G flat. But if you can remember this little cheat sheet, that's going to help you. And you can go up to C flat if you want to as well. Now, that's the first pattern. The next pattern is starting on C sharp. This is just a cheat sheet. You can learn it you can just learn it the brute force way if you want. But I think this is quite a nice little pattern. It's manageable. First shape takes you all the way up to the B or C flat. Technically not a B, it's a C flat. This way is going to actually do the reverse of the cycle of fifths, because the fifths and the fourths, when you do them in the opposite direction, are the same notes. Very simple example. C to G is a fifth, G to C is a fourth. So it depends if you want to go up or down and how you want to label that interval. So we're going to start on C sharp, which was a D flat when we were going around the other way. It's here, D flat. But there is that crossover. That's just how music theory is. So you have to understand that. But the best way is to start from C sharp, because the fifth up from there, because when you go around in the cycle of fifths, C to G, to D, to A, to E, to B, to F sharp, to C sharp, that's the cycle of fifths. After that, you'll go on to G sharp, which is called a theoretical key. I recommend going to have a look at Wikipedia about what a theoretical key is, so I don't overload this video. It's a key with 2 sharps, basically, a double sharp. Anyway, or flat. So you're starting on C sharp, which is like considered the end of the cycle of fifths. So you're going to do that in reverse. And of course, when you do the sharps, the cycle of fifths in reverse, it's the fourths. You're just going backwards. It's literally as if you've put a mirror there and you're just looking in the mirror going back. It's literally that. There's nothing else to it. So you're going to go around in the cycle of fourths. You're doing it in fourths. So you're going to count down from 7 sharps, 6 on F sharp, 5 on B, 4 on E, 3 on A, 2 on D, 1 on G, and then of course 0 on C. So if you look at those patterns, they are exactly the same thing. The first one was like this, the first part, and then the next part, the next section to learn independently is this. So it's 0, 1 flat, 2 flats, and then we're going to switch it around. We're going to go on sharps, but coming down, 7, 6, 5, sharps going down. So the previous one, the second part was D flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. This shape is now going to be E, A, D, G. So it's very, very similar. So 7, 6, 5 sharps, and then a fourth up will be E. So we're just keeping it in this 12-note block, so you don't get all confused. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you can connect and again see those within their key, it's really, really going to help. So the whole piano becomes C sharp. Go up a fourth within its key, you're on F sharp, but that's going to be 1 sharp less. Because if you were doing it the other way, it would have been sharps here, and then it would have been up a fifth to C sharp. So we're doing it in reverse, a fourth. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to 0 again. That's great. Now you know that. Just hardcore learn that. Just get it down, get it done, as I say. Now you want to add major scale, major triads and minor triads to that. So let's just do it to the first one. Maybe put a metronome on, see how quickly you can switch between the keys. But what you're going to find, and this is the exciting thing, that when you're playing one of them, if you just play for 4 beats, your brain is just going to throw the next number to you. And the more you do it, of course, the less you're going to be hunting for it in your mind. You don't need to count up to the next key. You're just playing C, and I know F is coming up next. Now I know B flat's coming up next. So my eyes are sort of scanning for the shape of B flat, and I land on it. Now I know E flat's coming up. I can see the shape already. And I'm just going to put my fingers on it. Like, that's it. I don't even care what fingers I'm using here. Up a fourth again to A flat. Now I can see D flat's coming up next. The number just falls into my head, and that's how I'd like it to be for you. D flat up to G flat. And of course you can do it with minor triads as well. And then you can go up to B as well if you want. A nice exercise is to play 2 major, 2 minor. And then do it with the other one. Major, major, minor, minor. Up a fourth to the F sharp, but it's 1 less sharp, so it's 7 sharps, 6 sharps. And it's just a really kind of easy, nice way to find your way around the keys. So I'm not doing this from muscle memory necessarily. My brain is just throwing in the next note that I need to play, and then I see the shape of that key in that chord in that key, and my fingers just land on it. So that's what I wanted this video to be about, really, to just reinforce the power of the circle of fourths. All chord progressions are built on it. The famous 2-5-1 is a cycle of fourths. D to G to C, cycle of fourths. Even the 3-6-2-5-1 is a cycle of fourths, because it would, in the key of C, you go 3, 6, that's a fourth. 2 is to D, you play it down here, but it's still a fourth. 5, 1. So if you do it spread out, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. It's just cycle of fourths. Even the blues, the infamous 1-4-5. On the key of C, you go up a fourth to F. And then, of course, yeah, okay, fine, you have the whole structure, and then you go to the 5 chord. But the 5 chord, okay, fine, you can say that it goes 5-1, but it's also up a fourth. So you can't escape this up a fourth, up a fourth. Often what happens in jazz is you get your 2-5-1, which is up a fourth. Of course, you'd go back down here, I'm just spreading it out. And then the song will often go up a fourth again to F. And then very often in jazz, it will go up another fourth, where you play a dominant 7 on the next fourth. And that's how you recognize, that's why it's so easy to learn jazz repertoire. Because you just get the 2-5-1s, cycle of fourths, up a fourth, 3-6-2-5-1. It's all very easy, really. It's not too overwhelming. It's not as scary as you may think it is. It's just major scales, cycle of fourths. So worry about the cycle of fourths. You can learn the cycle of fifths if you want. It just adds the sharps. But I quite like the idea of learning the cycle of fifths backwards because you're still jumping in fourths. And I think that's very clever. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sharps. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want 7 flats. Both of them are done in the cycle of fourths, which is quite a clever little trick. Add your major minor triads, add other fancy chords if you want, use your metronome, try and do it with your eyes closed, practice away from the piano, master that shape. And the other one. And you'll be away. hopefully that has been of use to you. As always, likes, comments, subscriptions are always welcome. Have a look at my video management website, Waterpin is Patreon, and all my playlists. And I'll see you next video. All the best. Bye for now.